All right, let's talk about something that makes a lot of us sweat: the hands-on technical interview for an IT job. You've done all the work, your resume looks great, but can you actually do the stuff when they put you on the spot? That's what we're going to break down today. So imagine you're sitting in that interview chair. The hiring manager looks at you, smiles, and says, "Show me what you can do." And then they slide a laptop across the table. Gulp. This isn't about reciting answers anymore. This is a live demo. This is your moment to really prove your stuff, and we're going to walk through exactly how to nail it. Okay, first things first, the command line. This is like the absolute foundation of IT support, right? It's the bread and butter. And, interviewers love to start here. Why? Because it tells them right away if you actually know your way around a computer on a deeper level. So they'll hit you with a classic, something like, "Hey, can you check if we have network connectivity to our server DC400? What they're really asking is, can you do the most fundamental network check there is? Can you even see if your computer can talk to that server?" Easy enough, right? You pop open the command prompt, you type ping and the server name. Boom. But wait, just running the command is only like half the job. The real skill, the thing that's going to impress them, is knowing what the heck the results actually mean. So you're basically going to see one of two things. You get a reply from, and you're golden. The connection's good. But what if you get request timed out? That means something's wrong, and this is your chance to shine. Don't just stop and say it's broken. You can say, it could be a firewall blocking the connection, or maybe an issue on the server itself. See? Now you're not just a command runner, you're a problem solver. Okay, so you nailed the ping test. They're impressed. Now they're going to hit you with the follow-up. Good. Now, how do you find this computer's own IP address and its DNS info? They want to see if you can pull up the machine's network ID card, basically. The simple answer? ipconfig. And that's fine, but you want to give the great answer. You say, well, ipconfig will show me the basic IP address, but what I'd really run is ipconfig/all. That /all switch is the secret sauce. It gives you everything: the DNS servers, the DHCP server, the MAC address, the whole shebang. Using that little switch shows you know how to dig for the details that actually solve problems. All right, here's a scenario that you will see, I promise you, a ton on the help desk. A user says a new setting isn't working. It's probably a group policy issue. These are the rules the admins push out to all the computers. But sometimes a machine just doesn't get the memo. So how do you force it to check for updates? The command you're looking for is GP update force. That tells the computer, hey, go get the latest policies right now. But again, don't just stop there. The pro move is to add a little extra info. Say something like, and of course, I know that some policies won't actually apply until the user logs off and back on, or even does a full restart. That little bit of knowledge, it shows you've actually done this before. It shows real-world experience. All right, you've passed the command line test with flying colors. So what's next? We're diving into the big one, Active Directory. Seriously, if a company runs on Windows, this is the central nervous system. As a help desk tech, you're going to be living in here, mostly managing users and groups. So they'll probably give you a sample ticket. Something like, we have a new hire, Stacy Smith. Can you create her account and add her to the marketing group? And yeah, creating users is important. But you know what's even more common? Resetting a password. I'd bet money they'll ask you about this one. So let's run through it. So the phone rings. Help, I can't remember my password. Classic. This is your time to be the hero. You just find their name in Active Directory, right-click, hit reset password. But listen up, this is the most important part. That little checkbox that says, user must change password at next login, you have to check it every single time. It's a huge security step, and they will absolutely be looking to see if you do it. Okay, here's a trickier one. A real diagnostic question. A user can't log in. Now, is their account disabled or is it locked out? They sound almost the same, right? But they mean totally different things. And knowing the difference is key. And this is a really crucial distinction. Think of it like this. A disabled account is when an admin flips a switch on purpose. Maybe the employee left the company. It's a manual off switch. A locked account, on the other hand, is an automatic security feature. It's the system protecting itself because someone tried the wrong password too many times. Being able to explain that difference, it shows you think before you click. You diagnose the problem first. Okay, let's switch gears a bit and talk about troubleshooting some of those everyday user problems. This is where they want to see how you think on your feet and how you use the basic tools of the trade to solve real issues. Let's start with RDP, or Remote Desktop Protocol. You will use this tool all the time. It's basically magic. It lets you connect to a user's computer over the network, see their screen, and move their mouse, all from your own desk. It's a lifesaver. But what do you do when you try to connect and it just fails? Honestly, 9 times out of 10, the reason RDP isn't working is super simple. It just hasn't been turned on for that computer yet. The fix is really easy. You just have to guide the user or do it yourself if you're there. To the system properties, click on the Remote tab and check the little box that says Allow Remote Connections. It's a simple, elegant solution to a very common problem. Oh man, here's another one you'll get every single day. A user is frantic. An application has frozen solid. It's not responding. Clicking that little X in the corner does absolutely nothing. They're totally stuck. How do you put that rogue program out of its misery? You teach them the secret handshake. Control, Shift, Escape. That little combo instantly brings up the task manager. From there, it's a piece of cake. You just find the misbehaving app in the list, click on it, and hit that beautiful End Task button. And just like that, you've solved their problem without making them restart their entire computer. You're a hero. Okay, so we've covered a lot of the how-to stuff, the specific commands and clicks. But to really stand out, you need to know the why behind it all. A good technician can follow instructions. A great technician understands the concepts. This is what shows them you have a real foundation, that you're not just a script follower. Let's start with the big one, domain versus workgroup. This is super fundamental. A workgroup is basically what you have at home. All the computers are connected, but each one is its own boss. They're peers. A domain is what you find in an office. It's a whole different ballgame. There's one central server, the domain controller, that's in charge of everything: security, user accounts, rules. It's the reason we have things like Active Directory in the first place. Next up, static versus dynamic IP addresses. The easiest way to think about it is like parking spots. A static IP is a reserved spot. You set it manually and it never changes. It's perfect for things that can't move, like your servers or your main office printer. A dynamic IP, on the other hand, is like general parking. A server called a DHCP server just hands out temporary addresses to computers as they connect. It's way more efficient for all the laptops and desktops that are always coming and going. Look, at the end of the day, you got to remember this. Nobody expects you to know everything. The interviewers know you're not going to have every single answer memorized. What they're really looking for is your thought process. Do you know how to start troubleshooting? Do you know the right questions to ask? They just need to see that you know how to navigate the basics. Because, like the quote says, the rest, you're going to learn that on the job. So there you have it, the commands, the tools, the core concepts. This is the blueprint for walking into that technical interview and just crushing it. You know the what and you know the why. So the only question left is, what are you going to go master first? Get after it. You've got this.